We're gonna work out problems 1 and 12 on 6.2 skills practice. So here we go. Here we're gonna solve all of these using substitution method. And while we do substitution method, we have to, one of the equations has to be solved for either x or y. And then once it's solved for x or y, we could plug that into the next equation. So we'll see how we did that there. For problem number 1 on your homework, we have these two equations, and I separate them with the color just so it can be easier to understand. Y equals 4x and x plus y equals 5. Now, my question is any of these two equations solved for x or y? And the answer is yes. The top red equation is solved for y. Now this one's not solved for either because I both have x and y on the same side. So it has to be only one variable equals something else. So y equals 4x is set up perfectly for me. So what I'm gonna do is, instead of writing y here, I'm gonna say 4x, and that 4x is gonna be plugged in that y, okay? So instead of writing y, I'm gonna write 4x because I know 4x equals y. So when I rewrite that out here, I'm gonna say x plus, and it's not y anymore, it's gonna be 4x equals 5, okay? Therefore, I have both variables are the same variables. So here I'm gonna have a x plus a 4x that equals 5x equals 5. I'm gonna divide here by 5, both sides, and I get x equals 1. Now, I'm not done there yet. I have to plug this x in here or there and then solve for y. Doesn't matter which one you plug it in for. It just seems easier for the top one, so I'm gonna do that. And it ends up being y equals 4 times 1 because the x is 1 now, and y equals 4. And that's it for that. Now, moving on to this next one. Neither of these two equations are solved for either x or y. So I'm gonna have to solve first and then substitute. So here, on this top one, the easiest thing to do seems to move the 5y over. So here I'm gonna move by subtracting 5y to both sides. The reason why I subtract is so that this becomes 0, and I'm left with x equals negative 5y plus 4. Okay, and so now I have x equals something, okay? So that something is gonna be plugged in for that x because x equals all that, okay? So I'm gonna rewrite this. I'm gonna say 3, and then times my x, which is negative 5y plus 4. Sorry, okay. I'm going to distribute this 3. So now that we have it substituted in, I'm going to distribute this 3 and say it's going to be negative 15y. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 15y equals negative 1. Now I'm going to combine like terms here. Here's a term, here's another term, which are the same. So one of them has, what I'm saying is 15y minus 15y. That ends up being 0. 0. Okay? So I end up with 12 equals -1. Now, does 12 ever equal -1? Can I ever say 12 is the same as -1? Impossible. So this would be a no solution. So whenever you get this, two numbers equaling, two numbers that are not the same equaling each other, this is going to be a no solution. And that's how we work out the problems for 6.2 skills practice.